Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Okay, so as I was shuffling the cards, this index card was standing out to me. It says Spirit does not want you to struggle. Okay? So they were like, share this one. And I love thinking of that because it's like whenever you feel frustrated or like it's just too much going on, you just have to remember that that is not the way. And we were never meant to struggle like that. So just take a deep breath and release that negative energy, and I find that it shifts the vibe immediately. Okay, especially when you're going through a frustrating moment or tension is just built up, you just remember, hey, Spirit does not want me to struggle. Okay, so hopefully that will be helpful to you on your journey. Let's go ahead and get a Wisdom of the Oracle card to see what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. TikTok and time to go. Okay. Spirit is being very clear. I feel like they're being very snappy in this message. Like, let's get to it. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Okay, so definitely it's time for somebody to go. Now, for some of you, this is sort of going back to a recent reading where there's someone very negative, very toxic who's going to be exiting your realm. But I'm also getting that for you, you're going to a higher level. It's time for you to, I'm hearing, now let me upgrade you. That Beyonce song, come on and let me upgrade you. I forget how it goes, but something about upgrading and going to the next level. That's what I'm getting for you. Yeah. Also, this is card 30, which the total of that is 3. So it's like you could have been in a group or collaboration with other people that just wasn't working for you, but now you're upgrading because 4 and 5 is 9, and that is endings and beginnings. Also wish fulfillment. But I feel like in order for you to experience your wish fulfillment, you've got to, I'm seeing like, this looks like a pier where you're walking to the end of the pier and you don't know exactly what you're jumping into, right? Like, what is at the end of the pier? Is it a lake? It looks like it goes all the way down. It looks like it might even be a bridge. Yeah. So you're going to a completely different phase, a completely different place. You can see it there, right? But it's a little foggy. So you might not know exactly where you're going, but Divine says, have faith that where you're headed is exactly where you're meant to go. Where you're going requires faith because it's a new experience, and so you won't know everything. It feels like uncharted territory, but it's where you're supposed to go. 3, 4, 5 on the timer. Divine alignment. Ashe. All right, so I'm drawn to these tarot cards. Divine, what's coming through for this beautiful being regarding this new experience and where they're going and what's coming next? We've got King of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Okay, so there could have been some disappointment here. We're going to look into that. Oh, disappointment regarding a group. I was picking up on that with that 3. Remember I said a collaboration that didn't work out or wasn't truly adequate for you. I'm hearing their best was not good enough for you. So that lets me know that whoever you were working with or collaborating with, they were doing the best that they knew to do. There could have been some karmic energy here and they were like trying, but their best wasn't good enough for you. 4:44 on the timer. This change is your divine protection. You got Ace of Cups here. Knight of Pentacles. 2 more, Spirit. Okay, so there's something here that Divine is warning you to not be on edge about because of a past betrayal, something that you experienced in the past. There is a beautiful new opportunity that awaits you with this Ace of Cups and also this Page of Pentacles. Beautiful new beginning that brings stability, and it's going to be long lasting with this Knight of Pentacles. This could be regarding work. It could also be with the cups. It could be regarding a relationship, okay? It could be regarding anything that you have done with a group of people. So this could be about leaving a family setting or leaving a work environment and going towards something that you're passionate about that also brings the energy of abundance. It's like a new opportunity, a new environment where you can grow, where you can feel passion, where you can feel a sense of self-love with the Ace of Cups, okay? There is prosperity in this for you, whatever it is that you're moving on towards. And I see you here as the King of Pentacles. That's how you're coming through. You have the energy of stability. It's like I'm hearing long lasting. You're long lasting. I'm getting the vibe of the Energizer Bunny. You keep going and going and going. And you've been tested. You've had reasons to quit. A lot of things that you have experienced have brought a lot of people to say, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm not doing it anymore. But here you are as the King of Pentacles, stable, steady. And so you might feel kind of like you're starting over again, because I feel like whatever it was that you were involved in and whatever brought this disappointment, it came at a time where you felt like you knew what you were doing, like you had a good handle on it. You had your routine. You may have been one of the, out of this group, you may have been one of the more experienced people. You may have even been a leader in this group. You were very well established. But Divine is bringing an opportunity for you to shift where you might feel more like a page, where you're learning something not necessarily from scratch, but you're learning a different way to do things, or you're in a new environment, so it's going to require some different, I'm just getting a different way. You're still using your same talents and gifts, but you're channeling them in a different way. Okay? So lots of opportunity there. Divine says, don't forget, you are the one here holding the coin. You're holding the coin, so you have a gift of a new beginning. And that's a beautiful thing, because when it's new, you get to determine if there's any changes that you want to implement, because you've already been the King of Pentacles. And there's this energy that is always going to be with you. You are always going to be the King of Pentacles, because you have the steadfastness and stability just within you. That's something that you're never going to lose. But you're bringing that energy to a new environment, which you might feel like a page sometimes, and that's okay. You're also presented here as the Knight of Pentacles. So it's going to be very obvious from get-go that you know what you're doing. And this is a long-lasting opportunity. I'm getting here with the Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords that there's like this potential to process this new beginning as a loss, when actually it's a beautiful opportunity. We had 9/11 on the timer. Yeah, okay, so your perspective and your vibe going into this new shift is really going to have a huge impact on the outcome. What guidance is coming through for this, Spirit? I feel like this could have something to do with a passion of yours, something that you're very good at. What's the guidance here? We've got Mars, retrograde, tension, lethargy, and lack of motivation. You might be feeling some of that right now. Because if you're feeling Three of Swords and Eight of Swords, that's definitely something that would bring on these vibes of just kind of like not feeling motivated. This is what you have access to. This is what divine is calling for you to step into, is Leo energy, your power, authority, and self-esteem. Okay? And the 11th house, networking, community, profits, and gains. Yeah, you could feel like something went left with this vibe in the past with the 3 of Pentacles. And then I'm seeing the 3 of Swords as well. Divine, please show me what happened with this situation that would be causing this Mars retrograde vibe. Human trafficking. What I'm getting is that there's somebody in this group that was taking advantage of others. It may not have been like actual trafficking, but there's somebody in this group who wanted to take advantage of others. They didn't see the value of everyone in the group. And perhaps someone did not, like, they were overlooking your value and your worth. And you were just like, I'm tired of that. No. You started feeling like an object. You started feeling like you were being used and not valued. They grew because of you. So this situation that you were in, you watched them gain from your knowledge. You watched them gain from your experience and your expertise. But I feel like they didn't value that. They didn't value what you brought to the table. Planning to come see you. There's somebody who's planning to come see you. I'm getting that whatever environment you were in, a lot of people were drawn to this either place of business or this venture because of you. They came for you. I'm getting that you were the main attraction. See, you outgrew it. That's what this is. 12-12 on the timer. You outgrew this environment. You weren't being appreciated. They were treating you like an object. Like they weren't giving you what you were owed. They weren't giving you what you deserved. And they certainly weren't giving you your credit. 12:34 on the timer. This change, this shift is divinely aligned. And see, that's the whole vibe here. Spirit does not want you to struggle. If you were to stay in this old environment, you would be struggling. Now, you might be feeling some of this tension now because of the way things went down, but if you really want to know tension, stay in that old situation. That's what's coming through. Like, then you would really feel tension, because there's something about this 3 of Pentacles here. Divine said their best wasn't good enough for you. You outgrew them. And you know, when you outgrow an environment or a group of people, sometimes it's ugly. It's not like, okay, let's all sit and, you know, be all kumbaya with each other and talk this out and be spiritually elevated. You know, the claws come out. And a lot of times people feel intimidated because they know that you have outgrown them. I'm getting that there was someone particular in this group who had grown very bitter. Yeah, one of these energies had grown very bitter towards you. Because they knew, like, every time they looked at you, it's like they had to look up at you. And they got so tired of that they started finding or creating other ways, or creating ways in which they could try to level things out. Like, they felt like you were on a whole different level, which you were, but they wanted to bring you down a notch. That became their goal, was to bring you down a notch. And that was the only way that they could manage to feel like they could even show up in that environment, because they felt so inadequate. They felt so insecure. 1444 on the timer. Divine is saying that it's time for you to experience temperance, balance, and to alchemize the energy that you felt in this situation, and to bring balance into your world by opening up to a new opportunity where you might not feel like you know all the ins and outs. There will be some things to learn, but in those things that you learn, there's opportunity to create things the way that you want to create them, to set things up the way that you want to set them up, because you have all the experience of your past. So it's almost like, I don't know, I'm thinking of the book Things Fall Apart. I know that was about colonialism, I believe. Oh my gosh, I haven't read that since high school. I think I read that book in high school. But what I'm getting is just, I don't even know if the book is all about this, but what I'm getting is from the title and what I know about colonialism is that it's almost like things might look like they're breaking down or like they're completely changing and revamping, but it's actually going to be an opportunity for you to rebuild in a way that brings dignity to your soul. Because what we know about colonialism is that that was about conquering, right? That was about trying to grow, but growing through hatred and domination. And you're not about that life. That's kind of your old world here. That's what you're walking away from. You have a chance to create a new world for yourself, but you don't have to do it under the guise and the ugliness of colonialism and the old ways where people were fighting each other and combating each other. You can do it in a way where it's like, it's beautiful and it's done in a peaceful way and in the way that you desire for it to be. Where in minute 17, this is about your opportunity for your star energy to unfold, to unveil itself. I feel like with you being the King of Pentacles here, there was something very professional, very, I'm getting legacy, like about your knowledge, your understanding, and the legacy that you're building, but still there was a sense of magic that you weren't able to really unleash in this old environment. And that's what's going to come to you, is magic. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Tell us about this new, like, moving forward in this new beginning. I'm really thinking like this, where it says time to go, and she's walking out onto what looks like a pier, but it kind of turns into a bridge. What guidance do you have for this beautiful being? Yeah, Uranus. Look, individuality, rebellion, unconventional ideas. And see, Uranus rules Aquarius, which is the star card. This is your star moment. This is your star era. It's more than a moment. And look at the back of this card. Okay. Star. You're walking into your star energy. This is you walking into your star energy. 4 + 5 is 9. Your wish fulfillment. Okay? Yeah. And I feel like, in a way, you're so beautifully rebelling, right? Because that's what I get about the whole things fall apart, like colonialism, like, you know, down with the man. You know what I mean? It's like you can rebuild in a beautiful way. You don't have to do it in the way that someone is telling you to do it, or in the old way. You can do it your way, you know? Yeah. Yeah. You can do it in your own individual, unique, unconventional way. Jupiter, growth, miracles, and healing. So your new beginning that you're walking into brings so much growth. And also, that's about expansion, spiritual expansion, but also luck and fortune. So this is going to bring abundance to you. Okay? Abundance. I'm looking at this cityscape here. You might be working in a city environment, or you might be leaving the city, going into a more rural area. That word is funny to me. Rural. But it's something about you changing up your environment. Okay? Also, he's walking with a stick there. So I think he might be blind. There's something about you going into this new environment, not knowing exactly what it's going to entail or what the opportunity holds for you. Like, it looks a little foggy here, the area that she's walking into, but that's beautiful. Divine says you shouldn't know everything about it because it's new. That's a part of the beauty of it. So with this Eight of Swords, there could be this tendency to feel kind of like imprisoned by not knowing. But Divine says you can actually feel free in not knowing, because that's a part of the beauty of it. Okay? Yeah. And I just want to make sure that it's clear that with colonialism, I'm not saying that you're doing what people did in the colonial times. It's quite the opposite. It's like, if we knew then what we know now about colonialism and the effects that that has had on societies and whole populations of people, okay? It's like you are creating a new beginning, but consciously. You're not doing what was done in the colonial era. You're creating something beautiful in freedom, okay? Not in captivity. Okay, 21 on the timer. Okay, let's see what else is coming through. Divine, please give more guidance regarding I want this one. Please give more guidance regarding this Eight of Swords and this Three of Swords. Like, what does this beautiful being need to know in order to feel free and to let go of any pain and heartache so that they are successful with this new venture? What needs to come through for this beautiful being? Okay. Yes, you have abundance coming to you. This is Queen energy, fertility, goddess, empress energy. Okay. This is who you are. And it's like, in that old environment, look, that Five of Cups, that was not it. Now, you're a miraculous being because you were able to be the King of Pentacles even though you were experiencing this disappointment, this Five of Cups, this regret of, you know, being in an environment that mistreated you. All right. But that takes so much energy to vibrate high and to maintain your stability and your wealth and abundance in an environment that does not celebrate you. That's not sustainable. That is what wears people out and makes them feel like they cannot go another day. It's one of those situations where it's like, oh, I love my paycheck, but damn, can I get a break? You know what I mean? It's, can I be happy? Can I live a little? Okay. I feel like the money was great, or something about the stability, maybe the benefits were great, but it just, you didn't have this freedom and this sense of abundance. That's why this new opportunity is coming through as Ace of Cups, because it's something you're going to love. It's not just going to bring abundance. Now, Divine is also bringing some beautiful balance of Cups and Pentacles, which is the best thing for a work environment. If this is your work or a creative endeavor, something you love, it could be about where you live. This could be about where you live. You might be moving. And so you're going to love where you live. It's going to be abundant for you. Okay. And you're going to have a new beginning regarding your practical stability and all of that. But you're also going to love it. It's something that's going to incite passion within you as well. Yeah, this is something that is divinely guided for you. You've got insight and divination here. Okay. What was it that caused this Five of Cups, Divine? Okay, this was in the reverse. So spiritual rank. See, they weren't respecting your spiritual rank. There's something about this old environment that was not respecting your spiritual rank. Also, it could have been hard for you to connect with your higher self in this environment because it could have been very toxic. What else, Spirit? Yeah, it feels like a place where fear was rampant. They could have wanted to rule with fear or operate in a state of fear instead of freedom. Okay, and that's not gonna vibe with you. Like, that's not compatible with you and who you are. Listen, Let me tell you something. If this was a work environment or even a home where you were living, it is so easy for an environment where you are, okay, where you spend time based on the people that are with you and the vibe there. If it's a place that runs on fear, it can feel like poison. Okay, I used to most of you guys know, if you've watched my videos a lot, you know that I taught for a long time. And there was one school where I taught, and every single time, and I was pregnant there too, which sucked, but I mean, because you want to enjoy your pregnancy, right? But at this school, it was so toxic. Every single time I drove on the parking lot, like I'd get there in the morning, my stomach would just turn. I felt so sick. And you know, that was anxiety, because it was just a very toxic environment. And what I started to realize over the years was that I'm an INFJ, so my body responds to my environments, and so I can pick up on things through my body. My body talks to me very, very quickly about a situation. So I've learned to listen to that, but I hadn't tuned into all of that back then. I just knew that this place made me feel sick. And so you may have noticed that about this old environment as well. It starts to feel like poison. Your body has been talking to you and telling you this is not the right place. This chair, this work chair, this office, wherever it was that you were, it was not for you. Or if it was a home that you were staying in, maybe it was a neighborhood, it was not for you. It started to feel like poison, okay? Oh. Okay, so let me lay these out so I can see everything that's going on here. Ooh, okay, so it feels like there could have also been a situation involved in this old environment regarding a lover. Okay, so you've got lover, Leo, and Leo came through before with this card, that this is the energy you're being called to live in, where you are walking in your power, authority, and self-esteem, okay? But there could be someone here who has significant Leo energy in their chart, because you've got lover, Leo, and destiny. Okay, I'm getting that for some of you could have Venus in Leo. It's a possibility because lover and Leo are here, okay? But there could be someone that you know, either you or someone else, that has Leo energy in their chart. And there's something very destined about a connection here. But then we've got here copycat and beta. So there was a copycat trying to siphon your energy, and they wanted you to be a beta. The truth is that this person is a beta. They more than likely try to come across like an alpha, but it's only very insecure people that feel that they need to copy people. And with the destiny card there could be something about your love life or about your appearance. I'm getting that you're very beautiful, that this person wanted to copy. 2828 on the timer as I say that. This person wanted to be a carbon copy of you. Carbon copy. Carbon copy, I'm thinking work environment, so this could be in your work or home environment, okay? This person want to be just like you. I feel like that brought on a whole slew of issues, right? And right underneath there, right underneath these two cards, were these two cards. So there could have been a situation of heartache in this old environment, okay? But look, you're shown here with victory and success. And then you've got friend, ally, confidant. Okay, so there's somebody that, and I feel like you have become your own best friend through this situation. But I do also feel that there's someone who perhaps you've connected with that has been of some sort of assistance to you. Maybe it's somebody who has been through a similar situation, or maybe this is a person who kind of clued you into something going on with this copycat, okay, that helped you to have a victory. This could also be a person who has helped you with a connection to have a new beginning. Maybe they gave you information about switching to a new environment. Maybe they gave you some encouragement or some practical information that you needed in order to make a change. Let me get, since this involves, okay, they're saying Tangled Love, the Tangled Love deck. What's coming through, Divine, with this situation? Okay, there's somebody here who has hit rock bottom. So this copycat is hitting rock bottom, okay? Whatever they were putting you through, it wasn't worth it because they are suffering now. All right, please tell us more, Spirit, about this copycat situation. Yeah, there were red flags all over it. So this copycat, you know what I'm getting is that this person works really hard to hide their red flags, but you saw their red flags. Perhaps other people in the environment, either your neighborhood or your work, your office, wherever you were, they didn't see the red flags with this copycat, but you saw them. Okay. You said deuces. I feel like that's what you're doing now, is you're like, bye. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Divine, now, you know what it could be? Maybe this copycat wanted to be your lover. Please tell me about this lover situation, Divine. Infatuation. This copycat was infatuated with you. Oh my God. And you know what? You know what? I'm getting that. Yeah, in denial, obsessed, attraction, spell work. Oh, they were going hard. They were going hard. They may have been like, oh, you're my destiny. They saw you as their destiny. They wanted to manifest you as their destiny, but they also wanted to be you. I'm getting single, white, female, fatal attraction. No. Healing through love. Okay, tell me more, spirits. Care, recovery, safe to feel again. Show me more about this for this beautiful being. Okay, spiritual attack. So this person wanted to connect with you, and perhaps they were trying to say that they wanted to heal through love, but really they were trying to attack you behind your back. Karmic triggers, spiritual awakening, shadow work, divine. Yeah, you're definitely divinely protected. Okay. Broken mirrors, turmoil, triggers, lessons, addictions, and awakening. Yeah, tell me more, Spirit, about this situation. Okay, they're saying to use this deck. What happened here with this lover situation, Divine? Seven of Swords. Okay, so there was definitely betrayal, deceit, lies. And you were courageous through all of that, because in all of that BS that they were creating, okay, that this person was creating, 3333 on the timer, this could have involved a third party situation. Could have. I definitely feel like even if there wasn't another lover in this work environment that was impacted, this person tried to bring other people into the situation. Okay, so they could have tried to bring in flying monkeys or people to support them, telling other people that you were a problem, but really they wanted in on your energy. They were obsessed with you, and you put up your boundaries. And I know that this was something difficult to go through, because with the Nine of Wands, that's a lot of fire. That's a lot of pressure. And that's a lot of courage that you have to have in order to withstand that energy. But you have done it. The Emperor. And you have transformed into the Emperor. Now what I'm also getting though is that they could have involved a boss in this situation. Perhaps they tried to, this copycat tried to influence the way that a boss viewed you. So it looks like they were definitely crossing lots of lines. That's what got so messy, because they weren't just coming to work and keeping things professional. They formed an unhealthy, toxic, karmic ass attachment to you. And they used the fact that you both worked in that environment to try to manipulate the situation. But you have strength. You have strength. Okay? And you did not allow this person. You know what? Ooh, 8 of Cups. And then you were like, I gotta go. But you know what? Divine is saying it was time to go anyway. Because even if you take this whole situation out of it, this copycat situation, I saw already that with the 3 of Pentacles, remember Divine said that their best was not good enough for you. So you might feel like some of this situation with this toxic energy and this manipulation that pushed you out and made you weak. There was nothing weak about you. You have utilized your strength to make a choice that you needed to make anyway to leave this toxic environment, because there are other things about this environment that are toxic as hell. Okay? I feel like really this situation happened in order to kind of push you out of there. Because what I'm getting is that, well, for some of you this will apply, but I'm getting a period of about 3 years, 1 to 3 years, where you needed to make a change anyway. But for whatever reason, perhaps because you had grown used to this place, or sometimes we stay in a situation just because the commute isn't that bad, or, you know, and those are all things that matter. But at the end of the day, what truly matters most is, are you happy? Is this an environment where you can protect your peace without fighting day in and day out? Like, if you have to do spiritual warfare morning, noon, and night just to show up to work and not have a meltdown, that is not the vision. And Spirit does not want you to struggle. That was what we started off with. That's what Spirit is saying. And that's why it's time for you to make this change, because Spirit does not want you to struggle. This was a whole lot of drama. But I feel like at the end of the day, Divine was already saying that you've outgrown this place. You were already presented as the King of Pentacles. Okay? And with this Emperor here, that could be someone else in this environment where this person was trying to present you in a certain light to a boss. But Divine is saying that you are the Emperor. You're truly the Emperor. And where you're going, you can become the Emperor if that's what you want to be. Because you've already been the King of Pentacles. So the next step for you would be the Emperor, because you're already a king, okay? There might be a phase where you feel like a page, or you feel like a knight. You go from a page to a knight. But that's just because, as with any situation that's new, we have to start off in a place where, you know, we don't know everything. But Divine is saying that there's a gift in that phase as well, because you're able to set things up in the way that you want to. Yeah, this feels like this was a very dirty, toxic energy. Maybe a couple more cards on that. Yeah, this change is a gift to you. This change is going to be a whole gift to you. What else about this? There could be real estate involved, so this could be a new home environment that you're moving to. Okay? But your setting is going to be different. Yeah, Divine says see it as a new adventure. It's beautiful. This is the Fool. It's card 0. So this is Fool energy where you're starting new. It's like, let that be exciting to you instead of a burden. Protest and homeless. That's how somebody wanted you. Okay, so you were because you protested, because you did not just sit there and take poor treatment. Somebody was really trying to impact your home. They were trying to impact your abundance. They wanted you to feel isolated. But you know what? Before it's all said and done, they're going to be in this position where they know they need to beg for forgiveness. And this person may already feel like that now. Let me pull a little bit on this copycat just to see some hard truths. Let's get some hard truths about this copycat energy. Yeah, see, they feared your power. This copycat was in fear of your power. They know who you are. That's why they wanted to be just like you. You know, you don't want to be like somebody that is what you don't like. They liked you. They loved who you are. They admire you. But they made it creepy because they're toxic and they're karmic. Okay, but they feared your power. That's why you're presented as the King of Pentacles. That's exactly how they saw you. Perseverance. They saw your perseverance. They knew that you would not give up. See, and that came through also with the protest. This person knows that you are not to be played with, but still they wanted to test you. Because they felt like if they conquered you, ooh, they could conquer anybody. But really, they didn't conquer you. They showed you a sign pointing you in the right direction for you, which is the opposite direction that they're in. Okay, they're left, divine said go right. Okay, and still even now they are angry about your perseverance, because what this person wanted to see you do was lie down and give up. That's what they wanted to see you do. Lie down and give up. Instead, you are tenacious. You did not quit. You refused to give up, and they hate you for that. This person is irresponsible. They dread responsibilities that come with achievement, and then they sabotage their progress. That's one reason they don't like their life and they're so busy trying to be like you, is because they constantly sabotage themselves. They don't see the pattern though. They don't see the pattern. Risk versus reward. They're not willing to take risks that make sense. They are so focused on gaining a reward that they're driven to do things that are foolish. That's why they came against you, because they're not willing to take risks that make sense. The risks that they take are completely foolish and built on conflict. What else about this copycat? Obligation. Their sense of duty traps them. So this person always feels like they have to conquer someone. They feel like they have to outshine someone. They put so much pressure on themselves that they end up failing at everything. You know how like when you have something to do and you keep telling yourself, I know, because like, you know, we all have experienced this, where you tell yourself, okay, I got to do it right. I got to do it perfectly. I got to do. This person puts themselves under an immense amount of pressure. And that's why they end up treating other people like crap. It's because they're not good to themselves and they can't take that pressure. So they end up trying to defeat other people because they can't take the pressure that they put themselves under. Yeah, this person is... No, I mean, you know, it's just good that you are moving in the direction that's right for you. And I feel like even though this person acted in a very ugly energy, and that's the vibe they radiate, is ugliness. You know, I'm talking about soul level ugliness. Okay, they still showed you a lesson. Divine used this person to show you that this environment that they're in and that you were in is no longer for you. So Divine used this person to help guide you into the next era of your life that is truly for you. So you don't have to feel that 3 of Swords and that 8 of Swords, because this next stage that you're entering is truly meant for you. It is beautiful and it is divine. Ashe, it's going to bring a lot of goodness. Let me pull just a couple of these to see what this new stage is going to bring you. Acceptance and embrace change. Oh, those are perfect. Look, acceptance, because you're going into a new, you're going through that door and it's going to bring change. But accept the change with those butterflies. Yeah, embrace change. I feel like you're going to be a totally different person in this new environment. For some of you, you're going to be self-employed. That's coming through. That some of you are going to do something on your own, or something that you're building from scratch. That could be why you came through as the Page and Ace of Cups, because it's coming out of self-love. It's coming from a place of self-love. Ooh. Divine, what is this next stage bringing this beautiful being? Okay, Divine is saying to trust yourself. So you're going to trust yourself more as you go through this new stage. And it's going to require you to trust yourself. So please do trust yourself. 44 on the timer. You are protected. Okay, it's going to bring a release of tension, a release of the strife that you've experienced, a relief, or yeah, relief also. Release of a lot of the burdens that you were carrying. Look, it's like opening up the cage and being able to fly now. You're free. You're free. It's going to bring an awakening. Okay, so with an awakening comes great change and also great growth. You're going to ascend, and lots of self-love. That's why Spirit brought through that Ace of Cups, because that's really significant with this new change, is you're going to love yourself so much more simply because you committed to making this change. Which, yeah, it feels a little scary, but that's just because you're doing something new. The fear doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do it. The fear just means that it's something different. It's something new. But you move beyond the fear, and that's where you're going to experience that self-love. Okay? This is so cool. I'm so excited for you. And I'm so proud of you for making this change, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people work so long in a miserable environment where there is no love, there's no magic. And if this is your home environment, like you're staying in you could stay in a place that's not for you, but you're moving to a place that is for you, you know? Whatever it is, and I feel like it's work, but you're moving to something that's truly for you. And that's what allows magic into our lives, is daring to do what we need to do. That ash is falling. You know what I'm getting from that is the rising phoenix. Ash, like rising from the ashes. Ash. Ooh. Yes, you're the phoenix rising. And I'm so excited for your regeneration and your new beginning. Divine, what message is coming through for this beautiful being? Stranger, curiosity. Yeah, because a new opportunity, a new experience feels different. Or when we're in a new environment, we feel like a stranger sometimes, but you don't have to when it's meant for you. All right, let's see what this says. The other, moving past fear of differences, curiosity, and acceptance. The stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to entertain any concept of other, beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss this opportunity for learning. Something extraordinary is being offered to you now. Let me repeat that. Something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to envelop you as you explore the possibilities. This is a departure from your expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to a new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. Now is the time to leave room for other points of view, other ways of seeing with humility and grace. This is a defining moment. Take the risk. Life is like a precious diamond with many facets, not just one. Thank you, Divine, for that perfect card. That message was perfect for this reading, and I'm so grateful. I hope that it blessed you as much as it blessed me, because I love that message. Beautiful being, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I hope that this message brought you clarity and insight and support and good vibes. And I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.